As you learn about the narcissistic pattern, it's also wise to reflect on the much healthier alternatives. Now, below you're going to find a link to my new extensive course called Ready, Set, Connect. It addresses both the mindset and the skills involved in gratifying relationships, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. The goal for people who are attempting to have healthy relationships could be summarized with characteristics like they want to have contentment, they want to have loving exchanges, they want to have a sense of connection down at the heart level with you, they want to have security, they want to have psychological growth without a whole lot of drama. In other words, we want to have a sense that says, I'm with you and you're with me, let's make this work. Now, does that sound like anything that you have encountered when you're engaging with a strongly narcissistic person, keeping in mind that the narcissist is very selfish and controlling and manipulative, etc.? Narcissists don't do that. There's something on the inside of them that inhibits them from having these healthy kind of relationships. What is it that blocks them from being able to have that kind of healthy engagement with you? Now, to them, they would answer that question with one word, and that is you. You block me. And you'll notice that narcissists allow a couple of themes to remain prominent in the way that they engage with you. First, you're going to hear from them in certain words, I don't like you. And then, and it's evidenced by the fact they just continually criticize you and you can't please them. And then second, it sets up the thought that says, but I need you, as evidenced by the fact that they put so much pressure on you to conform to them. I don't like you, but I need you. Now, what we have here is the combination. There's a lack of mutuality accompanied by a profound insecurity, and that's what they bring to the equation. So what's going on inside of the mind of that narcissist that sets up this strange kind of mindset? I don't like you, I need you. Well, let's look into that. First and foremost, we're going to just simply say these individuals, when they come at you with that mindset, illustrate how empty they are on the inside. Instead of saying, well, the good news is I'm going to bring a sense of calmness, I'm going to bring a sense of peace and goodness from the inside out to you, it's like, I don't have any of that on the inside of me. Actually, you're it for me. If I'm going to have peace and goodness and calmness, it's because you are going to set it up. So they desperately look outwardly to give them whatever it is they lack. But of course, they won't see it that way. But that's what all the pressure that they put onto you is all about. Beyond that, then, of course, you can see that this reveals that these individuals continue from childhood all the way through adulthood with inflated selfishness. They haven't figured out yet that the world doesn't revolve around them. They think, no, anybody that I'm with, ultimately they're going to receive the message. You have to defer to me. It's all about me. And it's like, well, when a 5-year-old child does that, you expect it because they're a 5-year-old child. But you'd like to think by the time they hit, 48, they figured out something a little bit different, but they haven't. Then taking it further, it reveals that they, lacking empathy, they view you merely as functional. And when they talk with you about how you're supposed to be and what they want from you, basically they're saying, here's the transaction. It's a transaction between you and that person. Function is what defines them. And even if they seem to be warm and engaging and pleasant, it still goes back to them being functional with you. In other words, their friendliness is something they can't sustain because ultimately we can see that these individuals are posers. They're actors, and basically if they think, well, maybe if I say something nice or if I throw something pleasant towards them, then maybe they'll do something that I need from them. They don't really like you, but it's like, I want what you have to give to me. In addition, this also reveals that they're craving for dominance overrides any appreciation for equal standing. They don't want to see you as being an equal. They want to make sure that you understand there's a superior and there's an inferior in this equation. Guess where you're going to be in that one. And then in addition, we can see that it reveals that their defenses are so strong that it renders them incapable of receiving any kind of input from you, because you see, I don't like you, and but I need you, but I need what you have to give me. And as far as they're concerned, you just have to supply. That's what they think. Now, basically, this sets up this sets up a dynamic that's going to be constant in your relationship with them. Basically, I can't tolerate you. I have to devise schemes then to make you defer. And what you see is this kind of mindset is revealed through multiple kinds of ways. They criticize you constantly. It's kind of like they're thinking, well, maybe if I keep telling you how wrong you are, then that's going to make you defer to me. They will heap plenty of shame and false guilt onto you, again, thinking that's somehow going to be a wonderful motivator. They try to motivate through other kind of characteristics like ridicule or offering you the silent treatment, just punishing you with non-cooperation. If you don't get their way, they'll punish you. They'll try to influence you by rage and anger, persistent stubbornness, triangulation, where they'll work other individuals with them against you. It leads to them trying to insist that you have to share the same opinions and beliefs as they do. It's shown by the fact that they will validate your priorities, your mannerisms. It's like, well, when you have your distinctions, that's not, it's not like me, that's not good. And you can see that it sets up a whole dynamic that works against relationship success. Now, it's important for you to understand. They want you to think you are the problem when the relationship doesn't come through, but you're not the first person that they've done this with, and you're certainly not going to be the last one. This is something that they carry on the inside of themselves that they haven't come to terms with. You've heard the term narcissistic supply. You've also heard the term alternate reality. Narcissists need your supply. They need you to feed them, and then they will construct an alternate reality. In other words, they make up truth as they go along, saying, well, the reason is because I deserve it. You're not as good. And so this is a combination between their craving for narcissistic supply and their manufacturing of alternate reality. Now, interestingly, one study after another illustrates that if you want to have healthy relationships, we need to have a good dose of altruism. And when we talk about altruism, it's the offering of goodness and decency with no particular reward expected in reverse. Does that sound like anything that narcissists do? If they do offer you goodness and decency, it's like, yeah, now you owe me. But I'm hoping that you can decide, I see through this mindset. It's frustrating when they do the I don't like you part in particular. But let's keep in mind who you're dealing with. And as you have an objectivity, you can then hopefully be poised to move forward with a sense of your own healthy initiatives. It's important to understand narcissists don't love. And when they attempt to love you, it's little more than trying to make you feel good so that they can get their self-serving agenda met. In addition, it also illustrates that narcissists are takers. They look at you based on what they think they can get from you. Likewise, it reveals their welfare is the only thing that matters. Keeping in mind, I don't particularly like you, you're beneath me. And then we'll also acknowledge that as you see somebody with this mindset, common sense is lost on them. By that I mean you can talk about what does work and all, but they keep going back to these failed strategies to try to get their way. And it also indicates another thing, and that is these narcissists are held captive by their anger. One of the things that I talk with people about when I talk about healthy anger management is you want to have a certain amount of assertiveness, obviously, which includes boundaries and consequences and stipulations. But then you also want to be wise enough to appeal to what I refer to as your higher priorities. You can be angry, but at the same time, I want to be a respectful person. I want to be civil. I want to be understanding. Narcissists don't have those higher priorities, so the anger remains intact. And then here's a strange thing. Oddly, your instability becomes part of their identity. In other words, it's like, yeah, look at you over there. I'm better than you. So if they can make you look bad, it's like, yeah, that makes me look good. And so it's all melded into their self-image. Go figure that one. The need to overpower you lies in direct proportion to their profound insecurity. Like I say, they have nothing from the inside out to draw upon. So, wouldn't it be nice if we could go back and say, yeah, I'd like to engage with that person with all those healthy characteristics I mentioned right at the very beginning. But the narcissist, when they engage with you, they think, hey, look, the more fault I find in you, then the better I feel about myself. And so their next thought is, please stick around. Let's play that game. I'm hoping you can see it for what it is. And when you get that invitation to play that game, it's like, where's the exit? I'm getting away from here. I'm not playing along with that. And I hope that videos such as this can give you some good awareness of what you're dealing with. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so, and we'll keep more videos coming along with you. Of course, if you hit that video tab inside the channel, you'll be able to access all the many other videos that we have archived there. If you have a need for therapy, and many times when you're dealing with something like this, that could be such a helpful thing. I've had so many people take me up on my suggestion to go with where my sponsors are, the betterhelp.com. It's a whole team of licensed professional therapists. We have a link below the video that will take you to their web source, and it's online therapy, and it can be so helpful for you to have somebody that says, I really want to know you, and I want to know your backstory. I want to know what your issues are so they can talk with you about how to become the best version of yourself. So please, as the need is there, go through the link and get the help that you would need. In addition, in my retirement from my counseling practice, I've been putting together online courses, and these are courses that you can work at your own pace. You can share with other individuals. Each course has at least 25 teaching videos along with documentation and then guided questions with each video. We have my newest one called Anger Games, How Not to Get Sucked Into Their Anger. We have This Is Me, about establishing your boundaries. Free to Be, Finding Yourself. We also have Ready, Set, Connect, what healthy connections look like. And then on all of that's below the video here. On our website, we have access to my webinars, my articles, the podcast that we have, and also my books, so plenty of resources. Okay, the narcissist says, I don't like you, I need you. And I'm thinking, that's not a good formula whatsoever. They may think it's good for them. As long as you're giving them supply, they can deal with the I don't like you part. That's so absurd, and I'm hoping you can say, I see it for what it is. I'm not going to participate and go play it with somebody else. I'm not going to stay inside that kind of orbit with you. In doing so, I hope it sets you up then for being a person of steadiness, and ultimately it allows you to pursue a life of peace.